So people, blessed love and respect. Welcome to another live by StreetVybz and Friends. And tonight here, no, first before me even start about tonight here, I wanna thank everyone for all the best wishes and stuff like that. I'm really grateful. Never know that so much people love me, but maximum respect for that. Had a perfect day. I hope everyone had a blessed and productive week so far. The weekend I come, keep safe, and just look after yourself and look after your family. Blessed love and respect. We don't know StreetVybz upon apart from the other day, and basically we are talking about child molestation, right? And we have no other than our co-host, Owie. Owie, say something to the people, them know.
I'm on big respect for everyone on the line,
Yeah, man. So basically, Owie has a respect, and we have a guest here with us tonight that will be sharing her experience being molested as a child, and at the moment she's surviving, and she's doing great work with others that have been in the same situation. So we want big her up, and we have no other than introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. I've been on the show a few times, so I should be a new face or a new voice, or the name should be. It's familiar to some of your viewers. So, my name is Raquel, and yes, I'll be sharing my story on this very sensitive topic.
Yes.
That has, made our headlines locally, and basically shed some light as a survivor or slash victim of abuse, sexual abuse.
All right, that's good. So we're not really ready to get into that yet. We are going to wait, hold off a little bit. I mean, it's not so much. We are not really waiting on viewers, but you know, we want
We
to
want
really.
to make it as interactive as possible.
Yes, that's true. But at the end of the day, we don't know what people are doing there, and we just have to do what we are doing on our end here. You know, yeah. So all right. With all that said and done, people want to talk about molestation of children and the impact that this heinous crime um can leave on the victims. You know, let me ask, what impact do you think that this crime has left on the victims? What do you think?
It's everlasting. I think it's a crime that never really goes away. The impact is that victim bring that for suffer that for the rest of their life, basically. Because I've seen in many cases where adults, cry about sexual abuse that happened um 30, 40 years ago. So I think I think it's one of the worst crimes.
Yes.
For that, for the
Yes.
rest of their life, basically.
Um,
40 years ago. So I think it's
we have a delay.
I think
Who have
it's one of
them?
the worst
Somebody
crimes.
turn down them the volume there. We are get a feedback. We are get a feedback.
My apologies.
Yes.
That's from my end.
Yes, all right, no problem. So I remember we talk about this subject, and people we are talking about child molestation. And we have Raquel here who's gonna share her story with us. I remember Owie and Raquel, we've been talking about this, and Owie, you had enlightened a situation that the Jackie situation when he sang that song.
Yeah. That was rape, really, because the female was adult at the time, I think. Yeah. But it was a sex crime nonetheless, and the impact it had on
On her, yeah.
On the victim.
Yeah. So basically, the reason why I mentioned this because we actually are talking about the victim and the impact that it left. And this person was an adult, right? And basically, when him sing the song, and because he was who he was, and the song sound good, you know, people have a soft spot for him, and basically people were actually with him and saying, free Jack Ure. And basically the victim was saying, that sort of bring a sad moment to her. It's like everything just replay back to her. You know? She had the victim, him sing one song, and people basically say free him and disregard her. And that was an adult. So people may have said, just imagine a child. Just imagine a child and what the trauma that the child has to go through, has to live with. Alright, next question now. Raquel, may I throw this other question to you now before we start getting into your thing. How do you think that the Jamaican government or the authorities deal with this situation here?
Are you speaking generally as it relates to sex crimes, or are you speaking particular to Jack Ure's situation?
No, not Jack Ure's situation. We just mentioned Jack Ure's situation
just
based
generally.
on that particular instance. Just that's it. But just in generally, how you think they deal with it?
I personally do not believe our justice system, and when I say justice system, it's controlled by our government, Minister of Justice. It's controlled by a numerous of people, other people coming down in the chain of command. I do not feel like the fines or the penalties are strong enough or as justifiable enough for victims to feel as though justice was served or is served or has been served. I'm not sure. People might differ from me, but I personally do not think that our justice system is fair when it comes to sex crimes committed especially to minors.
Yeah, and that me really want to get at. Do you think that they are doing enough to protect our children? That me really want.
You want me answer that?
Yeah, man, you can answer it, man.
Did you just...
Okay.
Rick?
Oh.
Yes, I did.
My apologies.
I did.
Hold on.
I did.
Yes. So if the penalties that are levied is not enough time served, enough when it comes to evidence that is being collected, I don't believe justice can truly be served.
Okay, all right.
So it has a lot to do with, the evidence collection. When victims do come forward, to not further, victimize them, to pass blame on them. And that's the first step. I always speak when it comes to victims being victimized.
Like and share, people. Share this live here. We're talking about child molestation. Like and share. Yeah, go on.
This is why we have so many people who are abused, whether sexually or otherwise, tend to just not go forward, because the first stage is nobody wants to come forward and tell their story, whether it's to the laws, to the necessary law agencies or police or detectives, whoever they are,
bless up.
And not feel as though their feelings and the way they are being treated is fair.
Okay, and also okay, so we really can't disregard what's going on now, right? We can't really disregard what now. Bless up Ken, Chris Millie, bless up yourself every time. What do we think about Raquel and Owie? What do you think about? Because we can't disregard what is hot in the media at the moment. What do we think about, you know, molesters abroad going back to Jamaica? Do we think that they are doing enough in order to protect our children?
All right.
You can go ahead first.
Let's forget about the one them from abroad that get deported back to the island. I don't think they're doing enough regarding sex crime on a whole. So forget about the one them who get deported abroad. For example, basically they are telling a victim in this case, children, that in order for them to prosecute a perpetrator, the child have to come and make a statement, which in 99.9% of the time, the child is scared. Or it's a child, so they can go to the station and make that report on their own. And most times the parents or somebody covering it up. So how is it that the crime is going to be prosecuted? All right. Word speaking, they should have it where a person supposed to can call and report a sex crime against a minor, and police come and investigate the crime without the statement. Word speaking, if them accuse you of sending pornography or whatever it be the case, they must be able to get a warrant and seize the person's phone and get their laptop or whatever and get whatever information from it to back up whatever it is that they heard. It can't be left up to the victim.
Definitely.
It can't be left up to the victim, because in this case, victim are children. So it's a lot need to be done where in order to prosecute child molesters, government have to do more. And also adults have to do more. Most importantly,
the community have to play a part. The community have to play a part in protecting our children. Yeah?
You can say a crime, a commit against a child, and because it's not your child, you tell yourself, say, you're no business because I know for you. I know my pitney them. For me pitney them, all right, so me not care about the other child. And a lot of time, parents know of abuse, and because it might cause disgrace or whatever, then call it on the family, then cover it up.
True.
You know, so it's a process, but I think it starts with we the people first before we even reach out to government. Because at the end of the day, we elect the government, so we're supposed to tell them what we need them to do.
Exactly.
Because the government are elected by we the people. So if we look into it and say, but why is it that a child need to? All right, word speaking, it should be a collective effort. Word speaking, suppose the child is getting abused at home, sexually abused at home. Tell mom, and mom not do anything, or whoever is the child guardian, not doing anything about it. The child go to school. The child supposed to can talk to the teacher, and if the teacher sends anything going on, supposed to can report it. In that way, when the police investigate, mom would be going to prison, all the enablers them, and everybody will cover it up and go to prison.
Definitely, brother. Definitely. All right.
But if the teacher not care, doctor not care, nurse not care, when you bring the child a doctor and the doctor realizes that this child have been molested, the doctor's responsibility is to call the cops and the parent. Because parent must know about it.
That's true. So yes, for people.
So it's a collective effort.
Yeah, definitely. So we are talking about child molestation, and we have got our guest Raquel, and we have got our host, which is Howie, and Raquel will be sharing her story with us. You know, how old were you, Raquel, when you been molested?
I, based on my recollection, I was molested from the age of 6 to the age of 12. It started out with touching, inappropriate touches, and it went on to sexual penetration.
At 6?
And at the age of 6, yes. And mind you, this wasn't happening with a complete stranger. And this is what a lot of people tend to feel like, aunties and uncles and stepfather and you name it. All these people who are close because you as a grown-up trust them with yourself, that means you can trust them with your child. That's not always the case. That's not always the case because sometimes it's the people who come across as so genuine to you and your family. Those are the perpetrators most times.
Definitely.
It's people that you least expect to touch your child, to sexually penetrate your child, because a lot of people feel like if it's not penetration, it's not a big deal. Someone touches you inappropriately on the street, a complete stranger. I know most of us women, we would tend to say we are going to either lick them down or whatever, because we not give this person the authority to touch us, to hold our hands, to slap with our butt, to make sexual comments, and we react a certain way. So in a child's mind, remember that child is not as developed as an adult, where he or she feels as though them can protect them own self. So it's most times is very petrifying. The trust in which that child has or had for grown-ups have been broken. So now this child has to struggle with, who can I really talk to? Who can I really tell? Because this person was my uncle. This person was my cousin.
Am I gonna be in trouble?
I'm a big cousin. You understand me? And most times, the people who children go to complain about these incidences, they do not believe them.
Yeah.
Because probably them have issues within the relationship, and they feel as though that child is trying to break that relationship up, when it has nothing to do with that. So instead of doing, and I'm not saying we should play investigators, but check when picking their own alone. Some of us will live in a big yard setting, and so many children around you. Sometimes you know, sister,
Hold on,
one second,
Raquel. 1 second. Yes, my people. Blessed love and respect. We're here talking about child molestation. We have got our co-host, always on the line, and also we have our guest, Raquel, will be sharing her story. You know, so stay tuned, like and share. You know, we are doing this program in order to bring awareness. Okay, so please like and share. you know, over here we don't really discuss the favorite things, man. We discuss some real touchy topic over here. You know? So it's all about awareness, people. And I want to thank Raquel for coming through and, you know, to be courageous and also to give us our time, you know, in sharing our story. Yeah, so this is what this program is about tonight. Yeah? Okay, Raquel, go on.
Yes, so as I was saying, even in that instance where children do decide to share it with somebody, they are fearful of getting themselves hurt. Most times perpetrators threaten that child family by saying, if you tell them, me I go kill you, and me I go kill everybody. And these are the things that a child is now struggling with, to say, this has happened to me. This took place because now this child have in our both hands. Am I gonna remain in this situation, continue to be molested, or am I gonna share and then me dead or my family dead?
Yeah. Yeah. So
And
let me ask you a question now, Raquel. Boy, where should I begin? So this molestation that happened to you, you were saying that it was a family member.
yes. The sad part about what I went through, it wasn't just a family member. I felt as though I was somewhat of a target to the older, well, I would say young adults, and the not in-laws, but the step uncle, because my ordeal was 2 family members and 2 step uncle.
So you hold on, Rocky, hold on. So so at the time, I mean, you say you was what, 6 years old, right?
6 years old.
And
I was only going to primary school, and it went on until my first year in high school.
Did you speak to anyone? Can you recall you talking to anyone about the incident?
The only, what I would say now, I never opened up to any adult about it until I was older. But I recall one night, my cousin and I we were playing, and for some reason, you know, we jump up in our bed, we jump from bed to bed, and she happened to jump in on my stomach. By the following morning, I woke up and hold on, let me just relocate because my background is getting a little bit noisy.
Okay, no problem. So yes, people, we are here talking about child molestation, and we have got our co-host always here, and we have got Raquel here. We'll be sharing her story. She's saying that basically she was being molested as early as the age of as 6 years old. You know, it's very sad. And these things happen in our society. It's time for us to make a change. It's time for us to make a stand. And, you know, as a community, we have got a responsibility to save our children. You're here, Raquel?
So yes, I'm
all right. Continue. Go ahead.
So I recall the morning. I got up and I felt my underwear was a little bit wet. So I'm like, okay. So I went to the washroom, and when I went, I saw blood. But it was not my first time bleeding at that age, because I've gone through bleeding so many times while I was being molested that it didn't come to me as a shock. Anyhow, the bleeding went on for a day, and my grandma told my mother that I'm bleeding, because I told my grandmother that I'm bleeding. And my mother beat me and told me that me got trouble man. And I recall my grandmother
Hold on,
taking me
Raquel.
to the clinic.
What age was that now? We're gone from 6. What age was that now?
This was about 10 years old.
Alright, so this was about 10 years old. Okay.
And I went to the clinic. My grandma took me to the clinic, I remember. And she go in, the doctor, and me and her inside, and then the doctor asked her to come out of the room if me want talk to him about, period or anything, and she come out. And the doctor looked at me and said, based on the examination, he knows that I have been sexually active. And he asked me if I wanted to inform my grandma, and I told him no. Because me already get beaten for say me go look man.
Yeah.
Me feel like say me did already get the beaten. And me I go get more by telling my grandmother that. And when my grandma went home the afternoon with me and my mom came from work, I remember her saying, yeah, beat your pitney. And doctor say she never been touched by a man. Me within myself, I say, because me no want more beaten. Because I'ma tell you this, the way how my mother used to beat me think me dead about 100 times already.
Yeah.
So I was very fearful of the way my mother would discipline me. You understand me? And because of it, I didn't, instead of her taking the approach of, talking to me about period, her first reaction was to beat me. And for the first time, and never because of sex, I genuinely just started had my period.
So are you saying that the first time when the first time when you see a period, you got beaten for that as well?
Yes, that was my first time I had my period. But I've encountered bleeding before. But it may bleed and within a few hours it gone, not knowing that at that time it was my virginity that was taken.
People, I want to hear what one second,
deal.
Raquel. People, I want to hear what going on. Mothers, this live here is about awareness. I want to hear what going on. I want to listen up keenly. I want to hear the situation where children, might come in contact with, and try to get some attention for telling you guys something. Yeah? Listen, people. Mothers, fathers, listen. This is a message. Yeah. Go on, sister.
So, my first encounter with bleeding, me never know what. Me did just feel like me get damaged. Me no know, I wasn't old enough where at school I was educated about when you first have sex, what can happen, the bleeding and whatever. I didn't know that. All me think is that me poor little self mash up. You understand me? And so what me do? Me take toilet paper and me roll it up, fix it, and put it on me underwear. And me use when it mess up, me throw them away. So me I get beaten for my underwear them, so me now wash them. When in all honesty, is because me no want nobody see the blood on my underwear. So a lot of times we as parents we need to, there are some indications that something is up. Your daughter have a whole bunch of panty, and when you look them gone. One, yeah, look here, say, they don't wear panty then there. She's hiding something. Something is going on. These are some of the indications where children are trying to hide what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Me start, long before, it's now that I'm older and more exposed to certain things, me start experience discharge long time ago. Long time ago, long before I should be as a child.
That's it. That story is so sad. I don't even know what to say.
Sad for you, brother.
It's sad. Okay, my question is, why you believe a lot of mothers keep these things cover up?
For one, if that man is their main source of income and they have no type of skill or the motivation to work, to be an independent person, this can be, and I'm not gonna say it's always the case. Most people, when them, if you know about the culture back in the 80s, 70s, 60s, women were stay-at-home mothers.
Yes.
So they were not equipped with a skill or the education to work on their own.
And
this is what I'm today it's still.
I'm not talking about the partner. No, I'm not talking about the partner.
Because they don't want to cut the source of income, so they are in denial.
No, I'm not talking about their partner. It can be a family friend. It can be a neighbor. Why they so casual with it?
It's not a sense of casual. It's I feel like, for me personally, because when I share it, this is my second time sharing it on a platform like social media. I've shared it with my doctors, therapists, and so forth. But I think the main thing is a lot of people do not want the embarrassment on the family. They see it as an embarrassment on the family.
One second. People, I want this to be interactive, so you can share your comments. I mean, if you want to join, ask any question, or you want to share your own experience, just type in the comment section to add you, and I will add you to the call. We've got a comment here, Raquel.
Sure.
Someone is saying that maybe your mother have gone through the same situation too. Maybe that's why she handled the situation in that way.
So, based as it relates to that comment, my mother did not. Based on what she has told me, she said she has opened up because, believe me, it has bred a lot of resentment between myself and my mother. I love my mother, but there is a certain level where I am a bit distant from her, where I would not take up my phone to call my mother to say something is wrong with me down at my lady parts. And I believe mothers and daughters should have that bond where me can take up my phone and say, Mommy, you know, so my stomach hurt me and me see X or me see Y. What you think? I do not discuss sexual stuff with my mother because it's a very standoff discussion don't happen, period. So for me, my mother told me that it happened in her family with a cousin, 2 cousins. So it was something that not my generation, but the generation before and before that, it took place.
Yeah.
So it has been a generational thing. And a lot of times there's so much where you ever hear people say, me no understand how way me do me feel like me curse. Sometimes this is me. This is just my opinion. Sometimes the things that we put in silence in that black box becomes our generational curse.
Yeah.
Because the person who was supposed to speak up and speak out didn't. And you might not have done something directly to somebody, but indirectly you allowed something to happen to someone, and you never took the stand. You never say, okay, you know what? I am going to put a stop to this. And that become your generational curse.
Yeah.
So believe me, I've been watching even the recent news, stuff that's been hitting the news in Jamaica. And when I go in the comment section and I see, especially...
Well, Raquel, before you get to that, we want to go to that now, but we're not ready yet still. Oh, you asked Raquel a question, and I want to get back to that question. But as I said, I want it to be interactive. So I'm going to read comments as they come along. Anytime I see, I can just slip in a comment. So another Chris Millie is asking again, Raquel, when did you tell your mother what had happened?
I told my mom in my early 20s. When I spoke to her, I tried talking to my mom before I left Jamaica. I'm now residing overseas. And her response was, I didn't get the sense of shock. I get the sense of more like, why you didn't tell me this happened to you kind of thing. You know, most mom would bawl and console them daughter and so. That was not the way my mother reacted when I told her. And when I came overseas and I started going through therapy, and it was an idea by my therapist to open up, because I was bringing so much baggage, and she said, you need to free yourself. Because I told her, when I spoke about my mom, she asked what the relationship was like, and I explained, and I said, I love my mom, but I also resent my mom, because when my mom beat me for having my period, saying that while she was beating me, in my brain I was like, but men been troubling me all long now, and you don't see that, but you're beating me for my period. So when I told my therapist this, she said, you need to revisit the conversation again, because you still have not healed. You still have not gotten over some of the issues that you have dealt with in your life. And when I brought back the conversation to my mom, it was the same thing. It was like, oh, why you never come to me? And I said, but you were this type of mother. You beat me first, and then you ask questions. People can come to you and just tell you something about me, and you just start beat me like you're going to kill me. I thought about running away so many times. I said it to her. I said, me and my sister sit down with paper and pen and plan we run away. And when we decide say we are going to run, we don't know which part we are run go. We never have that part they figure out because we did a country picnic. So if we did more savvy, like nowadays picnic we're exposed to social media and Google and all of them other little stuff, probably we would not have been with our moms.
Ask this, Raquel. Why a lot of women in your age group, our age group, still feel like molestation is okay?
I have no
Good
idea
question.
because
Good question.
for me, it's like I think some people, I'm not gonna say all, I think women sometimes because they have not been put in the situation, they cannot understand. It's not something that they can relate to because they have not been in the situation. They have not struggled with it for years. They have not been sleeping and seeing stuff, dreaming stuff. So they do not know the torment in which somebody who was molested as a child or even raped as an adult goes through. So it's almost like a situation where if me no know how you feel, me can't relate. But that is what makes, I would say, I don't want to tell people or I don't want to call people inhumane. But if somebody hurt, if you see somebody hurt, you're supposed to can sympathize with them.
True.
I agree.
And I think our today's culture have no sympathy for humanity.
Raquel, I want to say this to you. Somebody commented and said that they're hard to reach out to you. It's sad. It's sad. I've got another question here that's saying, where are all these men that abuse you? I think we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that bit.
And
we're going to get to that bit. We don't want to jump.
Okay.
Well, Raquel, give away a chance, Raquel.
Bad.
Yeah, we'll get to that bit. Maybe we're not going in details, but we'll get to that bit. But, fire.
Yeah, all right. In my opinion, how I feel, that's why I think when men and women come together and they start making children, it's very important that even if the relationship not work, they put whatever ego, whatever pride they have, whatever issues where they have, they no longer like each other or whatever, and come together for the best interest of the child or the children involved.
Definitely.
Because what I realize is, you see, predator, the word predator come from prey. Predators attack who are weak. And you'll never see a predator attack somebody who they know, or in any animal. You never see the predator
will defend themselves.
Yes. They're always going to attack what they think they can get away with. So I think it's very important, and mothers need to know this, whether you like the man or not. Try. Don't make it be a financial issue where because of finances, you can't come make it into the picnic. Because you see predator, sex predator, they don't mess around. They hardly mess around with children whose father is involved.
Definitely.
Notice they always for the vulnerable women in financial situation, women that have unstable mind. That's the children them with them mess with.
And what I can say is, if it's not that case, a lot of times it's where that person is at, whether is he a violent person, because you will have people who are there, but there if he becomes that person where everybody's fearful of.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. A father that is territorial, a father that that involve
where everybody's fearful of.
a predator going to think about, do I risk my life messing with this child? Because what if the father find out is a man with serious and we can chop off man, you know? And
Yes.
you know, if that fear alone, let him think twice. But once it's the mom alone, he gonna try. Notice most times, not
So
all the
true.
time, but most times it's
So true.
with single mom that daddy not really involved in the life,
True.
in their life.
And
True.
the sad part about it is one, my dad was there and has always been there. But my dad is not the
It's quiet.
we chop you up kind
Yeah,
of dad.
yeah.
He's
It's not that kind of dad. It's not that kind of dad
No.
that overly
So,
protective.
again, the word pray means this person knows everybody with the
But,
in the
yeah.
family. Who
Yeah.
we are, who we chop, who we do. Me no, I remember my brother is younger than I am. At that time, a peer woman. If anybody who knows me and knows my family, a peer woman. And later on, well, boys, is like we had a generation, 2-3 generations of women.
The women.
And then
but there was no protector.
There was no protector.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever
It was
realized,
all women.
Have you ever realized that men that are abusers, man will love beat to man, you never take a look and notice they are there with women that have big boys? Like
Exactly.
teenage boys, big teenage boy, big 15, 16-year-old. You ever notice that?
True.
Man will love be to man. They do not.
And even on that topic, this is why when I also speak about domestic violence, this is something that I talk about. I said I grew up come see it. Aunties I get beaten from left, right, and center. Cousin beaten left, right, and center. There was no men to in the middle of the night or whenever it happened to come out and say we are gonna chop you up and kill you. Nobody was there to do that. And so yes, because myself, I fall victim. And I will say this, I know for a fact that I was not the only child in the family that has been sexually molested. And that's the worst part about it.
Wow.
I am not.
So, okay. And I've spoken to many women that have been molested as a child. Grown people in their 40s, 50s, 30s, all different age groups. But what I don't understand is why they still defend it. Is it because of guilt? What is it? Why they defend predators?
Let's get to the new social media buzz. What you were going to mention on that, Raquel.
Could speak on that. Okay, so the other day I came across because I follow the Glean and Observer and whatever, just to keep in tune with the local news. And it's been buzzing about me not want to call him Mr. Handsome because he's ugly to me.
Mr. Ugly. All right. So
yeah, Mr. Ugly. Yes. Yeah, I say Mr. Ugly. Yeah.
Yes. And the reason for me saying this is from a victim standpoint. Somebody who has done people like myself, the things that they've done, they're ugly to me.
Yeah.
So it's not a personal thing where I'm looking at his physical appearance. I'm talking about what he has done makes him ugly.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can say that. So, he's a monster.
For one, we're not talking about somebody who was charged and not convicted. Because anybody can pick up a charge.
Yeah, of course.
Anybody can pick up a charge.
I
Mm-hmm.
can
and you get
accuse it.
charged,
Raquel
right?
threatened me. Raquel
Right.
threatened me and they
And we
charge you.
get charged, yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we're talking about a convicted
Sure.
predator.
Yes.
Not once, but twice.
Level 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the level in which he is convicted at makes him a reoffender,
Mm-hmm.
based on my understanding of how the laws are in the US.
Yes, that's exactly right.
All right? A level 3 means you are very likely to reoffend.
To reoffend. Yeah, it could have been a level 1. It could have been a level 2. That is way milder. They put him at level 3.
Level 3.
Meaning it's most likely he will reoffend.
He will, exactly. And when they do this, it's not, they don't just apply level 3 to you.
No,
It's
they don't. Just
whenever you're doing your time, you see, you have to, because some people feel like, say, when you go to prison, they not try to
no, they bring
go through therapy, you know.
Doctor
You go through therapy, you know.
Yeah. It's doctor tell the government
and
it's a level 3.
Finalize what level you are. So all of who probably a comment, which I've
they
seen,
don't understand. They
don't understand that this is something that has been documented while he was doing his time.
They send professionals go inside, talk with him, get inside his brain, find out how he feel, how he's doing, and they come to the conclusion like he will reoffend.
He will reoffend.
Yes, he's beyond repair.
Secondly, when you are released, you go on a sex registry.
For life.
For life. In the US, you are not allowed around children, period. Not just as a level 3, but as a level 1. Once you are a sex offender, period, you go on a registry. You are not supposed to be in a certain perimeter around school, daycares, anywhere that children are. You will not, you don't, listen to me, you can't do that. The next thing is wherever you live, everybody in that community has the right.
Have to be notified.
They have to be notified that a sex offender is living in that
address. Yeah.
This is how. So you know, say if you're there in our community and you want to stay in our community where a sex offender is living, that's on you. And most times people do not want them there.
Yes.
Because if my son, this is the mindset. My son live here, so I don't want him here, so cause my son have to go take the bus, and now me have to go look out for my son and take the elevator, all these things.
Together or whatever. That's why when they run the back, if you live certain places and they run it, you can't live certain places to begin with. Because when they run it, his background check, they're going to realize, and people will end up suing. If you live in an apartment building, will end up suing.
Exactly.
Because you can't allow a to come and you're with children. So it's very complicated.
Very complicated. And most times me even know for sure say them go in they have like a special area in which sex offenders live. Like them have one building where I just peer at them where them can be monitored.
Yeah, definitely.
No, bear in mind, this is how the great America do it, you know. We, as a third world country, when this person is sent to his country of birth, which is Jamaica, yes, the Jamaican government will receive him knows what he was convicted for.
Of course, you get in brown envelope, you carry down in brown envelope.
It documented out at airport what crimes you commit when you get deported, when them receive you, them have to sign for you. So how is it that in the America, the great America, People need to know. People have to know. Them cannot live on the street at schools and whatever. How we Jamaican so passionate and forgiving, allowing these perpetrators to be in schools?
Exactly.
Around children.
Exactly. As I said that, Raquel, I want to read a comment here. This comment here is from a lady called Alma Martin. So basically, her comment is, a full time I'm gonna leave the man alone. Whatever he has done, leave Jehovah to be the judge. I'm not condoning what he done, but my Bible says, he or she without sin cast the first stone. We are all sin, and I don't even want to go no more night.
Let me address that.
I don't want to go no night.
Give me first go. First of all, 12 people judge him already and send him to prison. So we 12 people, the government allowed 12 people to judge him and send him to prison. So we Joe or the Bible have nothing to do with what right or what wrong. Go ahead, Raquel.
So from a standpoint of where she's saying, StreetVybz, you can't talk because you don't know what it feel like. You only I take on the button now because you feel that this is alright. Me, I talk from a victim standpoint.
Personal.
Let me judge him. Somebody who been there.
Yes.
Done that.
Yes.
Has been sexually abused for 6 years. Not 1, not 2. 6 years repeatedly. That pain does not ever go away.
I think I should have tried to get her up on the line to make sure you hear this.
Continue to judge any sexual predator coming from a victim standpoint because they have left me scarred for life.
Say it again, Mummy. So say it again. Say it again. Repeat that again, Raquel. Repeat that again.
I no longer stand on this earth. You, whatever it is that your name is, I do not remember it. And at this point, you have caused me to be very infuriated by your comment. Respectfully, you do not hold the position to speak from a victim standpoint. You do not have the right to forgive because it has not been done to you. Let the victims forgive, not people who don't know what it feels like.
Words,
you know
sister.
what it feels like
Words.
for a little boy's illness to be burning while he's sitting in school? Do you know what it feels like? Do you know what it feels like for a little girl vagina to be infected? Do you know? You do not know. So do not tell people not to judge because you do not know what they are feeling on a daily basis. And with Mr. Ugly's dirt when upon him, he needs to be judged. He has been judged and he has been convicted. How is it fair for if it has happened to you or your daughter or any family member, would you be so forgiving? Would you be so forgiving? I don't think so. I do not think so. And I'm saying this with respect for you, but I do not respect your comment.
Okay. That was...
Period. I can go into more details about my ordeal, and listen to me, when I go to treatment, when I came here, I encountered several different victims, people who have had their butts ripped from their back to their front by these perpetrators. Do not speak as though you know what they feel. Do not.
Okay, Raquel, I want to ask you a question. Why is it we're so forgiving and always think about
so forgiving?
Forgiving and I talk about judge and Bible regarding the perpetrator, and nobody think about the victim. Like, wonder how that person feel. Wonder
Exactly.
how that little boy went raped when molest at 13-year-old because it was forcibly touching and what all kind of stuff they charge him
And
for.
as I said,
How that little
it
boy feel
started,
now? How he
it's the
feel?
same
What
thing.
him do?
Oh, it started with the finger. I'm a poor 6-year-old, and I'm gonna be very raw. Very raw. My poor little 6-year-old vagina was burning as though somebody light fire down there.
So how is it that a person defending the perpetrator? How is it? What happened to the little child? How that child feel? How that child, when the 20 years from now, how that child live?
People going around checking on these children, finding out enough time people commit suicide. You don't know why.
No, what they are worrying about is they are worrying about this Mr. Ugly, Mr. Parnell. They are worrying about him committing suicide. They're not worrying about the victims.
Yeah.
What about, listen to me. And on that topic, I'm going to tell you, I struggled with killing myself.
Oh my
I'm not afraid to talk. I'm going to be real. I struggle with killing myself. I struggle with depression. Anytime certain things happen in my life, it bring it up. So do you feel like, because him do something and we are all now talking about it, he's gonna kill himself?
Mm-hmm.
So why,
Because
when people get raped, why wouldn't not worry about them killing themselves?
But the thing is this,
Mr. Ugly is the victim. Leave him
yes,
alone. He's the
he might play a victim. And the thing is
alone.
this, if he want to take his own life, it's quicker for him to go and just like what Alma said, let Jehovah judge him.
I don't bring the ear towards this man, but me I tell you, this is me now. And Chris, if you don't want to invite me for the next program, that's
No, you're here to share your story, because mothers need to hear this, fathers need to hear this.
Better off killing himself than me have to content say I'm going to do something to our next picnic.
Raquel, it's your story. You went through what you went through. Nobody can tell you how to feel or what you went through. That's your story. So feel free to express.
Feel free to express yourself how you want to express yourself.
Which part me go? Which part me come from? The community where me come from, the yard where me grow in, it breed anger, resentment. And me feel good because me a blood relative. You think this scar go away? Cuts heal, but scars remain. Scars remain. And you see people walking day to day and they're smiling and you have no idea the problem and the trauma where they have to process and go through them there. I don't have to talk about forgive and not judge and not this and not that. Don't help me. Me they start talking me until I say it feel like it happened to me over again. When me hear comments like this, me make a pledge. Say, if me have niece and me have nephews, I have my own kids, and me tell myself, say, if any day me find out, say, somebody touch any one of them, and believe me, I have opened the door, the window, the roof, for any one of my niece and nephew to contact me and tell me personally, I go lay down for that somebody there. Me can't tell you because they now can cause more trauma and broken people in our society.
People, this is a strong woman.
Some of our relationship can't work.
A strong woman here expressing herself of what she's been through.
Okay, Raquel, me and Chris are two men.
Yeah.
I wasn't sexually abused. I don't know about Chris. I
didn't face no form of abuse myself either.
Okay, but as a man, I look and most of the time, men are the perpetrators in molestation. Women do it too, but majority of the time, men are the perpetrator. Me and Chris, as two men, decided that we are going to open a discussion.
Talk and raise awareness, and then people are going to come and say, oh, we're not be
and people attack with personal.
Yes.
When we say
Yes.
personal,
Yes.
like I don't
Yes.
have the moral authority
Yes.
to talk about a
Yes.
child molester.
Yes.
Like I am some convicted, or me and
Yes.
Chris is some convicted child molester.
Well,
without
let
no
me
moral
mention
authority.
this, Owen. Let me mention this. People are going to tell me that I don't have the moral stand to talk because of a situation where I disciplined my child and the police investigated. It's fine the police investigate because they want to know that if I've done it maliciously. You know, I'm from a country, Jamaica, where, well, I'm Raquel, I just want to make this clear out there. A molestation we are talking about. You know, I may try to say, you know, this thing I need to stop. The authorities need to look on this brother here. I may have to bring awareness. People are going to come
and get him from around people.
Get him from around people, children. People are going to bring that situation. Yeah? And say, I don't have the morals. I shouldn't be saying anything because me no better. My record clean. So, I mean, I stop police. Hold on, Raquel. Well, just give me a second. Just give me 1 second. Me not stop police from investigate. We come from a culture, Jamaica, where we believe in a beating. And me I say,
we still do.
Me I say no. Me can learn a different side to the thing and move away from that. You understand what I say? Because not because something we used to do. So listen, we used to go to school and teach a beat with. Principal beat with. And we are talking about beat with some belt, some leather belt.
Some belts and
some big thick belt. You understand what I say? So I want to get this now, say, I don't have no criminal record to my name. A man we been charged for child and what is something again? Oh, with child what?
Endangerment.
A man we been charged in the endangerment of a child cannot be driving a bus for the state. I've done that for 14 years. And I voluntarily resigned that post based on my current location. So, when you not talk, you come good in no story. And if you don't want criminal record document to prove that, we can. You can't tell me say me can't talk. So me I put that out there now, so everybody know now.
You know what yeah. I cannot understand. This is why we have so many abuse. And when you look on social media day in, day out, people are pitney. Men, women are dropping like flies in Jamaica. Before you know it, this a woman, what day? Woman cut our man. Police have to shoot. Boom, pitney dead. Pitney head cut. Fine neck, yes, so fine body vessel. No wonder, never stop. And everything you know when we realize with culture, we demonize everything. So why we not demonize the man there?
Yes. Yes.
We not only see fitting for demonize stuff where uno can relate to. Or tune and will ruin children before them even reach teenage age.
Yes.
To consent to sex. We not feel like them they are demon.
Them protect
we
them.
Not feel like them people there and them figure to meet Satan.
Them protect them. Why? What?
As a man, me and Chris decide say, you know this not right because we grew up and we know we see a lot of molestation and the men them before our generation didn't do anything about it. Exactly. Or nobody didn't care. You understand?
And this is how we have cultural change.
Yeah, and I decide say, yo, this not look good, man. This not right. We have to talk about it. You know, we have to take responsibility as men and talk about it and the backlash where we talk about it and then people complain about crime and violence.
Yeah, me have to touch on something with whole heap of Jamaicans. Me just share this. When back in the day, even to this date, if a community knows somebody, yeah, they want gang him, I want chop them up and do them all kind of something. When most time when you look at two big old crufty man.
Crufty man. Two
consent.
consenting adult. Two consenting
consent
adult.
to do what them
And
a
that them vex about. That them
And
vex
that
about.
them vex about. But they
One
don't
chop
vex
up man. About a child.
man who's touching.
A child.
Inappropriately touching a child.
They
Who
don't
has
vex
been
about that.
convicted and is still yourself in the DI state, he would than if in the DI, he would than the prison now. I
Yeah.
put it in no school. He would have gone back to prison, so no than hear about
Long
another.
time.
You would have reached probation and all of them something there. So he would have be back in a jail.
Long
in
time.
a prison.
Long time. Long
So
time.
how is it?
All right,
So
we have got a caller here. Guys, we have got a caller. Tanisha.
I can't understand it.
Yeah. You sent me a message. Say you have a question, so you can go ahead. You can talk to her.
But
Yeah.
I never want to go live.
No, you're not live. You're not live. You're not live. It's just voice. Only voice.
Oh, my question is that you don't think. All right, what happened to that Denkerman? Right? It was his first part of life in the state. Right? But now, instead I take a sentence, he rather to give up everything that he have here to go back home.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my question, because I hear a lot of people talking, but we can't find finger on one place. We got to find finger on both parties.
Hold on, Tanisha. I'm gonna get you. That's your question. Just hold on to your question. I'm gonna get you another way. 1 second, please. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Because we lose our guests, so let me get them back. Let me get back our guests on the line. Just bear with me, people. 1 second. 1 second. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Hold on 1 second, people. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So we'll get back with guests. Getting back with our guests on the line, people.
Hello.
Yes. I think I lose you guys, but we had we had somebody on the line, so I'm gonna see if I get the person back, so we can have a.
I was trying to join.
I was trying to join you as well, but for some reason, send me a request. Send me a request.
I see some of the comments, and I wish I can
Yeah. Can you send me a request? Can you send me a request?
I will. All right.
Yeah. Try sending me a request, and I'm gonna. Oh. Okay. All right. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Oh, you're here. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me. Tanisha, I'm gonna get back to you. Just give me a second. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to get Raquel on here. Just give me a second. I lose it just now. Oh, just give me a second. 1 sec. 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 Yes, people. Sorry about that. Sorry about that just now. Sorry about that. Really sorry about that. Really sorry about that. Raquel, let me see if I. Okay, good. Hope this work out now. So I get your request now, Raquel. So I'm going to add you. So you're saying adding at the moment.
Come, Papa.
Yay! Yes. So Raquel is on here. All right. That's good. That's good. Fantastic. We have Raquel on here. All right. So we had somebody, Tanisha. So I'm gonna see if I get Tanisha on the line. Raquel, how's
So
the
just
volume? Are you
just
hearing
a
me?
tip, when you're trying to join, if your phone is not turned sideways, you won't be able to join. So send the request and then
Okay.
rotate your phone sideways because it has to be on that wide screen. That's why I wasn't able to get on before.
All right. So lovely. So we'll see if we get back this call on the line. All right. All right. Let's see if we get back the call now. Let's get back the call. All right. Hold on. Let's see if we get back this person here now. Yeah, Trisha.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. So sorry about that. Can you go ahead again now with your question that you had?
As I was saying, it happened. We're talking about this guy, comedian. Guy,
Yes.
where I didn't catch the old topic, but I pick up that we're talking about. And I have the question is that I know he was here. He was in the States.
Yeah.
And he was charged and he get whatsoever have to do and they deport him back home.
Yeah.
And then I figure that should be a youth for it. Knowing that most times, for me right now, I know people that is abused by stepmom and stepdad. And you don't hear all of those things happening. You don't hear people threatening anybody, people saying anything about anybody. People can walk, the same stepmom and stepdad can walk in the street in peace.
Okay.
And I think he's wrong. He's wrong to do whatsoever he done.
But. That's it, but.
Go
on.
Yeah,
Go on.
there's a but there because everybody cannot do him like that because sometimes, no disrespect to the mothers and the fathers, but sometimes we mama are the problem. We mothers cause certain things on our kids.
Okay. All right. Let me Raquel, you want to answer that or you want me to
Yes.
let me
Please allow me.
Okay, yeah.
Your name is Trisha, is her name? So Trisha, I don't know, you said the first thing I noticed you said was the fact that you came on live, you joined the live a bit late, so you didn't really know, you think the discussion is entirely about
Mr. Gurley.
Mr. Sir. The discussion is about him, but also my question to you is, have you ever been sexually abused or assaulted?
Yes.
You have? Was it assault or was it sexually abused?
All right, I fix it properly. I was abused from I was about 8, 9, going to primary school.
Okay.
And nobody believed me, and I leave it at that. So I grow up as a mother and a grandmother. And you know what? I forgive. And I don't hear nobody doing anything, saying anything. And a lot of people happen. I know people now that is presently abused. And I don't know. Have you ever been?
Okay. Which is
You missed the program. You missed the program. But hold on, before we get to that, Trisha, what I want to say to you, right, is this, right? All right. So if we know people that nobody is saying anything about, right? Does that make it right?
No, that's what I'm saying.
All right, that's good. That's good. Right. Hold it right there, so. Another thing. When are we gonna put a stop to it? When we see trend. When we see the trend, do we know people that has been accused, convicted, and then going back at the same trend, and we are not saying anything? Because when a person
No.
pay for their crime,
So I have a question.
no, hold on. We have to address the thing before we reach to so much question. We can't ask so much question and we not reach no answer, right? So what I'm saying is, when a person do the crime, they do the time. Okay?
Yeah.
Now it's up to the victim to forgive. So we left that, right? But the other thing is, when the person has been convicted, and you can see the same trend the person is following that he has his previous conviction for. Like we're talking about this man here now. He's been charged and accused of molesting little boys twice back in the States. And we can see him in Jamaica now, you know, having these little boys around him in bushes, saying he's keeping Sunday school with little boys, asking a little boy inappropriate question on the internet. When are we gonna say we can see him going into school? So when are we gonna say, listen, man, you need to stay aside from children? When are we gonna stand up for that? Huh? Okay, well that's what we are doing.
All right, I have a question, or I have a few questions that I, speaking from a victim standpoint to another victim. Was your abuser a family member?
Hello, Trisha?
You know, I'm not asking for names or anything.
No.
It's just
She's asking you a question.
I asked her a question and I don't get any answer.
Raquel, she said she asked you a question and you didn't get any answer.
I'm not sure. What was the question?
What was the question you asked?
The same question that she asked me, I asked her the same.
She's late on the program, Raquel, so let's bear with her.
Okay,
I guess maybe
so
she never
I
get
think
it
the question was
from the
if
beginning.
I have been abused. Is that the question?
Trisha?
The same question as you asked me if I was molested.
Yeah, the same question,
Okay,
Raquel.
so yes, I was molested for 6 years.
From the age of 6?
From the age of 6 to the age of 12. Repeatedly. Not one day, not once in a year, repeatedly.
So at that time, where was your mom?
Okay, my mom was at work most of the days. My mom worked in the afternoons until late at night. But I was there with other family members.
Okay.
And that's the thing. For me, I'm not saying I have not forgive, but I will not forget. Therefore, if I see the person who have abused me around kids, that's a trigger for me to become protective of them. So this is why I'm asking you these series of questions to find out if you still have to mingle with your abuser, which most victims have to. Seeing Mr. Girly mingle around other kids is a trigger for a lot of victims.
All right. My abuser, God loves me, so God take that one. And the next one, he was actually nearby me, and I'm big woman now, so I don't go in his direction or anything.
Okay, and I'm gonna say this to you. God also
and I pray for them every time.
God also loves me, and he took two in a 2-year period, and then he took another one, but there's still one that's left. And that one I still have to look at. I still have to look at his kids.
I still have Raquel, we tell you what we have to do for these people that abusing we and our children and maybe our grandchildren. We got to pray for them.
But where was God? Where was God, Trisha? Where was God when this was happening to the children?
Oh my God. That's a good question, because I guess he's always around.
And he see all this thing happen.
You sound like, do you believe in God?
No, that's beside the point. That's beside the point. What I'm saying
You're
is,
asking me, you're
no, hold on. No,
asking, we have to pray for them people.
yes, but what I'm
I
saying
answer
is,
that
the
question.
same person, the same, the, s-
If I hit you,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
And say God stuff hit you,
yeah.
what you gonna be? You're gonna hit me back, right?
No, Trisha, that's beside the point, you know. What I'm saying is, the same person that we are saying that we are going to pray to is the same person that knows all, see all, hear all. So, I mean, how do you
Trisha's
justify
approach,
that?
Trisha's approach is very different from mine because I did not pray for them. I prayed for myself. I prayed for strength. I prayed for courage. I prayed for healing and restoration. I did not pray for my abuser. I will not pray for my abuser. And if it was up to me,
Well, I pray for them, and I pray for me so I have the strength to forgive them, and then I pray for myself for
May I try and
forgiving
get you
them.
on back away?
so I mean, this is me talking now. You have many victims, Trisha, who are not able to speak because they have not healed. They have not forgive. Are you telling me, or are you telling those people who have not healed to forgive before they have healed?
No, darling, no.
Okay,
No.
so this is what I'm saying. A lot of people keep coming and saying, we need to forgive him. We need to forgive him. We need to forgive him. Yes, forgiveness, I think, personally, forgiveness only can come from the person when done wrong, or God. Secondly,
So does he see about the person? So does he see about the person them that he offended?
he's on a social media platform. He's surrounding himself with kids. Do you think, do you know what triggers are? Do you ever lay down and stop flashback in your mind that you went through?
Yes.
Okay. You might deal with your triggers very differently from others. I deal with
All of us do it. You do it, me do it, all of us do it.
Exactly. So for people who do not, and for people who have forgiven their abuser, it's not for us to say to that person, stop judge them, stop do this, let him do what he do. Do you think he should be around kids? Unsupervised.
Unsupervised, no.
Okay.
When supervisor is there, that's good.
And most of the time he's around kids unsupervised.
Okay. I don't know.
No, but we can show you videos, man. We have got videos. We have got videos of him in schools.
Oh.
Yeah. And
So
that's the
this
problem.
is what we're talking
Trisha.
about, because people saying forgive, but they do not see the fact that is so.
To get somebody attention, this is the correct way to get a person attention, right?
How? What you saying? Get a person attention? I don't understand. How?
To get the attention of other people to see that this is the person. Who is the person?
Yeah.
And that's
Are
what
you here?
we've been trying to do.
Wait.
We've been trying to raise awareness so people.
All right. Okay. Are you hearing?
People don't see
Yeah,
it
yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. So
to
if you have any
have this
question, you
man
can ask. You
around
can join
kids
in. You're with us.
unsupervised.
Okay.
If we don't, for me, the person who's still alive, who assaulted me sexually molested me, if me see them run up with me get angry same time, because all in my mind is wonder if this person will do the same thing to this little person, this little girl.
The thing is this, you know. The thing is this, you know, Trisha. He went in a school, and after he went in the school, a school official came out and said that they didn't knew of his conviction.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And I'm saying, if he know that he has that problem and he been in trouble twice in America, why
immerse yourself around kids?
why does he come to Jamaica and feel that he's okay? Why don't he seek help?
Okay.
He's not seeking no help. Go and say that you're going to spend some time with God or Jesus. You're not seeking help. You need more help than that. I'm not saying that you don't need your spiritual being, your spiritual healing, But you need more than that spiritual healing.
He needs, what I would want to see him do is to say, you know what? Accept his conviction first. Yes, I have been convicted of these crimes. Secondly, due to these convictions, and you know what? I think it's best for me to stay away from schools and kids and anything that's, child related. Because all you need to do is give people peace of mind. But if you have an issue, and a lot of people keep saying, oh, being this way, being that way is a mental issue. They have deemed him mentally impaired, so he will offend again. So
yeah, understand what I want, Trisha?
Yeah,
it's not from an action standpoint. They have deemed him level 3. They have deemed him level 3 from a mental standpoint.
Hold on. Oh, yeah? Hold on. Yeah, you were saying something. Hold on. Let me get that. Yeah, her name is Trisha. Yeah.
Okay, she understand the entire story.
Trisha, our co-host is asking you if you understand what we are actually talking about. If you understand the entire story.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I do understand, but as I said, I'm kind of person where it's not really. So I'm listening and see where I go wrong. So I just said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I won't call again for something like this."
No, Trisha. We don't want to say that,
No, I don't know public.
No,
So
the
that's
reason
why
why
you
I
notice I
asked
don't
that
comment on
question
Facebook. I text
is
you and comment on
because
Messenger because I try to be really private.
No, man,
And
it's
I
okay. It's okay. It's okay. Your face
no.
is
The
not
reason why
showing.
I asked is because sometimes a person don't understand the level why we're talking about this issue. Because a person might think that somebody accuse him of something, and we just take it up and run with it and say, oh, because him act a little way, that means and him have a little boy, then he maybe a trouble them. That's why I ask if she aware of his conviction, of the level that when she said,
I know about it because I read it. My daughter, we look it up basically and we see the whole entire incident, what took place and all those things. So basically I know what happened.
But what we are saying still,
that's
is
why
that...
I'm asking you, wait. That's why I'm asking you if you know the entire story, because if you understand the entire story, you would understand that while he was incarcerated in the United States, he had to meet with countless amount of professionals who would evaluate him and realize he'd never take responsibility for his action. Because
and
that's one
therefore
of the
he
reasons
will
why
reoffend.
they label him a level 3, because when the professional talk to him and get inside his head, he didn't take responsibility for his action. So there was no remorse. So therefore he think it's okay because that's how the perverted mind works.
All right, I wanna show.
You see, sex crime is not a person that rape or a molest a child is not the same crime as a person who break into a store and steal something or a bank robber. It's not the same crime. Most of these people do reoffend. Sex crime perpetrators, they do reoffend. That's why when you commit certain crime and you get out of prison. You're not on any registry to say, oh, you can't be among people. But sex crime, they put you on a registry for a reason. So when we see him with little boys in Jamaica, that alarm went off. He shouldn't be around kids, whether supervised or unsupervised, period. He don't have that authority anymore. He lost that.
But this is when his friend, all of this start to take place when his friends talk about it, right?
No, it wasn't his friends. His friends cover it up. People who knew about his
because I know I see
conviction.
a video where his friend start to talk things and said she have people in the hearing and something
but
like
that's
that.
when everything come up already.
Exactly.
That's when everything already
nobody
was
wasn't talking about it until when the friends start talking about it.
Because as usual, we try and save face.
Yes. And I don't know if you're watching this, Trisha, but this is him in our school. This is him in our school. Look at his face.
How he's excited.
Look at his face. Look, Trisha, I don't know if you can see, but maybe you watch it again. This is him in our school. No, it's on the live, so I don't know if you're watching the program. So I'm actually showing a thing, and I will personally send it to you. This is him in our school.
And
yeah,
we have to make it clear, Chris. We're not speaking about him alone, like he's the only sex predator.
No, we're not speaking about him alone.
We're
No.
speaking in general because
never ever be around kids. Never ever.
The other day I came across an article that says there are over 300 sex offenders living amongst us in Jamaica. How many of us know in what community? How do we know? How can we protect our kids? How we not know? Right now we have a rise where children are being found dead, raped. We don't know what's happening. Exactly.
You know, predator living among us all along. But, and let me say this though, there's no amount of prayer that can help this man. Save the prayer and pray for his victim. There's not enough prayer. This man, professional, talk to this man and decide this man is beyond repair.
We want to say this too as well.
Pray for the victim.
This
to live, knowing that he did this to them. Pray for them.
Yeah. I don't want to say that. This lady here who come out with this thing here, you know, regardless of how we think about her, I'm still grateful of whatever downfall they have, which lead her now to put forward this information here. You understand, Trisha? Because this thing here could be covering up, and we see a trend. You understand?
Remember, the lady said she spoke with a little boy that have the picture with Mr. Ugly. A little boy, she said that in a little boy.
Yeah. So, you know, that's how you go. But anyway, Trisha, you have anything else you want to say to it?
No, I never want to say anything. I just want to text, but then you make me known to everybody right now. So
no, hold on, let me say this. I said, Trisha, your name is not on the live. Anybody can name Trisha. Your face is not on the live. Nothing at all for you is on the live.
So I stopped talking.
So not even the co-host know who is talking to. The only person know who is talking to is me and you. Nobody else know.
This
Okay.
No, I don't have
and
anything else to say. I'm just
But
adding my thing because
Trisha,
I hear everybody
Trisha,
saying all different stories. I don't know what it is,
no,
and
forget, don't
ex-
watch the noise, Trisha. Don't worry about the noise. Let's focus on the fact.
mhm.
Look at the facts that where we have, the information where we have that we know. He was convicted. He was arrested twice. Served some time the first time, then went to prison for 2 years the second time. The evidence that they brought was some forcible touching, pictures that he showed to a minor, touching, there was no penetration. But everything else that you could think about, he did to that little boy. He was convicted and then deported to Jamaica. That's the fact that we have. That's the fact that we are work with. So all right, he reached Jamaica now, and then you see him back with little boys.
Again, what would you think,
So
Trisha?
we have a work right now. You got nice and we flawless say, and where this a person said, forget all of that. Focus on what we know to be true. It would cause for concern regardless of what anybody say. If we see him back with the same little boy them when him get charged with in America, we see him back around little boys in Jamaica.
And I just saw some little boys who might get around.
Don't watch it nice and who are nice and all that. Just focus on the fact that what we see and what we know for to be fact.
Yeah?
That's all I'm saying.
All right, mama, enough love. And as we say,
He's free to live his life however he wants to live his life. Just live it without children. That's all we're saying.
all right. And as we say, you are anonymous. Nobody don't know which Trisha this. Okay?
all right.
It could be Trisha Brown,
Just
Trisha. Yeah. Hold on, Raquel have a final word for you.
and just a final thing. You see, I know you have said you are forgiven, but based on the fact that you were concerned about your identity, means you have been scared that you do not want your story to be made public. And with that, it has crippled you to share your story. Not saying that you won't at any point, but you still experience fear just to make your story known.
All right.
That has a lasting effect on you.
Hold on. One at a time. Yeah, go ahead, Raquel.
Whether you want to admit it, to say, I've forgiven, but if you go later and just search yourself and say, this is true, I have not, you're still protecting your perpetrator. You're still protecting your own identity. So you don't feel scarred or you don't feel further victimized. I have been victimized. I am no longer a victim.
All right. Go ahead now.
Can I say something?
Yes, it's your turn. It's your turn.
Okay. This is it. As I said, the reason why I'm private, I don't jump to things that I can't put my finger on.
Okay.
The next thing. My thing is this. It's just me alone go through my struggle with everything. And my children know about it. My husband know about it. My sisters, I tell them, because we are different mothers, but same fathers. So I keep it in my circle, which I make sure my kids, because my kids, I have girls more than boys. I only have 1 boy and 3 girls. So I protect them with my life story. So it's not that I'm holding, as I said, one passed away, one still alive. Abuse, sexual, physical, and all those matter what. In fact, I know what it's like to be put out the house in a hurricane, to sleep underneath the cellar.
Oh my dears, boy, me I tell you.
You understand? I know all of that. So that's why when it comes to, and I have such a loving heart going to everybody who do me wrong, even the lady who hurt me, I still have a loving heart against her. I don't hate her. I would do anything for her. So I just keep my story to me and tell it to my children. And then when I see people killing people now, I just look back, and then sometime I remember my own and said, "Whoa, I guess I'm loving."
You are. I mean, and
Yeah, you are.
for
You
me,
are.
I have taken a different approach to raise awareness, not just for my family, but
Hold on, one at a time. Let you finish, Raquel. Let you finish. Yeah, go on.
My first child, she's 26-year-old and have a husband, and I'm still doing my part for her because she's still in my house. I don't put her out. You understand?
Yeah.
So I grow to have that thing with them. They grow up and they be right there. I'm doing everything for them what I never did. I have in my sleep, I have stepfather come in and break the plate with the food in my head in my sleep. I'm wearing glasses now because of a stepfather. And
Jesus
you can't tell me
Christ,
that
boy, may I tell you.
I'm wearing glasses. My stepfather he hit me, and when we go doctor, my mother told me to tell them that, say, oh, me and my brother play. I'm a brother living in my eye. I don't go to doctor. So you know what I am now? I'm wearing glasses. Although I'm wearing glasses, I'm wearing dropping high, dropped also in high. So everybody deal with them things different. I just tell my kids and my husband. Now I have a husband I can share my entire life with, which I do share it with him. My dad passed away. He knew I shared it with him. My granddad, I shared it with him. I don't need the whole world to know about it because guess what? Everybody deal with the sewer is still there. And if me go open up now, me just have to dig out the sewer and just black just can't just it.
Yeah.
It can't just. It just has to be very just make it heal. And once I open up back, everything just wind up. The sewer going to cut out back big. So why am I going to cut out back my sewer big?
All right, you know that's why Trisha, you know that's why a lot of child molestation stay covered up because of just what you just said. Don't talk about it.
Guess what?
Act like it never happened.
Yeah, but
that's
the
route that we take. That's the route we take. It's truthful. And I'm not bashing you. I'm just saying that's the road. But that's the wrong road.
That's why in the first part of the question I asked if the mother is not, if the mother, remember the first part of the question I asked, if the parents don't have anything to do with it. Because sometimes when people molest kids and the children say to the mother not do nothing about it. When the father will go talk to the person and talk up, the mother not do nothing.
Mother not do nothing about it. Mothers are more enablers.
That we agree.
Yeah, we all agree on that.
The mother, what about the mother? What the mother do? What the mother say? Even the father, even the brother, even the cousin inside the house and molest the kids. The woman do nothing about it.
Yes.
I agree with you on that.
That's so true.
That's the thing. This all about the mother. We are the mother of the problem in every children's life. We, the mother, is the problem in every kid's life.
And that's
the
why
mother is standing up as a mother. The mother is not standing up as a mother. And guess what happened? When the father do, we, the mother, start to watch the father if the father is molesting our kids.
True.
That's all I have to say. And if I'm wrong, you guys tell me that I'm
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You are right.
You're not wrong.
So that's my problem. That's why I sent a text. I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question.
That's fine.
So if you, that's it basically.
That's it. Okay. No problem. Thanks for
Trisha, before you go, I want to say to you that as a man, on the behalf of me and our co-host, we want to deeply, sympathize and say, but we are sorry for what you and also Raquel and any other victim have been through.
Look in the evening in the church. What happened now there? You know much faster, more or less over 13-year-old, and the mom know about it.
And try to cover it up.
Well, I'll tell you something. I see that on social media. I tell you what, I never knew that women are so much of an enabler
Enabler.
until
Yeah.
this girly situation happened, this Mr. Handsome situation. This is when I
It's the
actually
comments
opened my
that
eye that women are
raise
really
brows.
enablers.
Exactly. We mother is the problem. We mother is the problem.
Thank you, mommy. Respect. And as me say, I promise you,
Oh,
nobody else will know who this Trisha is. Between me and
okay.
you, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, respect. Enough love, yeah?
Okay, darling.
All right, cheers, thanks.
So Chris and Owie, I feel the need to say this. I am a mother.
Bring back Owie on.
Meaning,
Owie, I'm gonna take you off this one here. I'm gonna call you back. Okay? Yeah, go ahead, okay.
so do you want me to wait until you join Owie?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Just give Owie 1 second.
Bless you.
Yeah, go ahead now, Rocket. Always here with
All
us. Go
right.
ahead.
So a lot
Auntie
of
Elsie.
times we a lot of times we say we keep it in our circle, and this is generally speaking. If everything is kept in a circle, only a closed circle or close circle, how can we raise awareness so we protect others outside
Okay,
that
what
circle?
did I say to her, Raquel? That's the problem. We cover it up because keep it within the family. Don't
Nobody knows.
know about this thing here.
And these perpetrators leave out of the yard where them start probably in the yard, and then before you know it, them reach in the community, in the broader areas. Before you know it, they are
of course.
doing
That's the
parish
problem.
wide.
Don't talk about it.
And this is
keep it
because
within the family.
because
Don't talk about it.
it's a hush kind of topic. Nobody wants to say, oh, you know, say in other family that the ex come from or the wife come from. Nobody wants to do that. So we protect the name of the family. We protect the look, the family people. Oh, people are going class.
The family image.
The family image. We can't. We cannot.
So let me ask you a question, Raquel. As a victim yourself, and you look on social media, and you see so much women enablers. How does that make you feel? Express. How does that make you feel?
To be honest, there's no words to describe my fury, because the way I see women as the caregivers, the nurturers, you don't have to give birth to know what it's like to be a mom, because I know people who have not biologically birthed a child, but they are mothers, because women are supposed to be mothers by nature. So when we see them comments here, the only thing we can say is, where is the motherly instinct in these women? Is it that it's non-existent? Is it that we as women have been so hurt and burned that it no longer extends to somebody else's child? My role as a woman and as a mother and as a caregiver is to protect all lives. Child, adult, grandmother, great-grandmother. You don't have to be related to me for me to care and want to protect you. And this is what we need to do. We need to start protecting. Me remember one little saying we used to go around and say, and it take a community to raise a child.
Yes, to raise a child. Yes.
It takes a community to protect a child just the same. This hush, hush, and over mouth, do not speak, do not say, needs to be done with. Because if we cannot do that for we pitney them, and when I say pitney them, I mean every child in Jamaica belongs to me. It's my duty, my right as a citizen of Jamaica to protect the life of others, more so children. So if I see somebody who might hurt that child, who might sexually touch that child inappropriately, it's my charge to put a stop to it. And my only challenge to Jamaicans is to stand on board against child molesters. When Mavado Popcorn put out the song them, the whole always sing them loud, turn them up. Make we turn up the action as well.
True, man. True, man. True, man.
Make we
True,
turn up
man.
the action
True,
to
man.
protect them as well. Not just come out and say, oh, that song is shot.
True, man. And most of these women are victims, or were victims.
And
I see a
because
survey that says 1 in 4 women was abused.
and that's reported. They always need to put that in bracket. What in bracket? 1 in 4 who reports it. Listen to me. I know so many women who I've come across, and I'm sharing my story, and them will inbox me, or them will call me, or them will say, Raquel, you know, so me go through this too. And I'm on the outside, wouldn't see, wouldn't know. So we probably keep saying, oh, 1 in 4. It's probably half and half.
Sure, man.
One child in most household, most community. Listen to me. It spread wide and far. And this is
Let me say
something
this.
we have
Let
to
me
stop.
say this, Raquel. Give me a thought. Let me say this. A lot of these women, when we see a comment, they have left their children and gone into foreign country, or their children is in another country. A
Who's
lot of them.
protecting them?
Who is protecting them?
Listen me, I don't think it's not just cultural. I think it's just the fear to protect our own image and our family's image that's creating this big silence, this big plastic over our mouth where we need to tear it open and scream. Make it be known.
Sure.
I'm not promoting any violence towards Mr. What's his right name?
Ugly. Mr. Ugly.
I'm not promoting, or I'm not charging anyone to say go and do him harm. I am simply asking schools, parents, community members, when you see this man around children, say something.
Exactly.
Say something. It shouldn't be allowed. The Ministry of Education, when you go in and you donate money or you do this, it come like say that all them think about is the palm. The money we are coming. What about the person we are donate the money? What is the agenda for this person?
True.
Is there a hidden agenda? If you know
all right,
you've been
so
convicted,
Raquel,
yeah.
sorry, we are wrap up right now, but we want to ask you now, your final words as to, mothers out there, victims out there, your final word to them,
My final words first to victims. You are not your struggles, meaning you're not what you've been through. What you've been through is not who you are. It doesn't define you. It doesn't stop you from rising. It doesn't stop you from healing. It doesn't stop you from moving on to greater things. Do not sit down and blame yourself. Don't. Because I know the self-blame send you down one deep rabbit hole where most time we can't pull ourselves back out of it. Don't sit and blame yourself for anything that someone has done to you. Say something.
Amen.
But there are places, there are people that you can sit and talk to. Speaking about it is to me a way of healing. That's the first step to healing. Saying something, don't bottle it. It's like you shake a soda, and then when you try to open it up, it just spray out because you're gonna go through a lot of emotions.
But as a victim, you should, you know, I know it might, you know, it come across a way, but you're the victim. You're not to be ashamed of. Somebody took away your innocence.
Yes.
So what is it that you need to hide? You was a child. This person did this to you. There's nothing to hide. This person should be shamed. And highlight it to mean a next child. So
don't have to go through that
around
situation.
This is not secret. It's not supposed to be state secret.
Well, you know, we have
it's
different.
Supposed to be highlighted.
Most times as we are talking about child molestation, we are dealing with children who their minds are not as mature and would process this information the same way. So they are crippled by fear. They're crippled by what if they don't believe me? All of these things. So find somebody that you can talk to.
Right.
It might not be
I want to say this. It has come to my attention, that how should I put this now? Children, let me say this, in Jamaica has been exploited in a way that they are performing certain sexual acts, and they are sending videos, and adults are paying money for them. And I'm saying, parents, open your eyes, be observant.
Check your children's phone.
Check your children's phone. And do whatever you can to protect your children.
Be careful of the adults.
Predators.
Of the adults you have around them.
I would say
very careful.
My words are my encouragement to parents, because sometimes we have single dads, we have single mothers, we have parents who they coexist, they live together, they raise their children together. The only person you can trust is yourself, because you don't know what another person's mind set is. So the only person that you can say to yourself, you're 100% sure, is yourself. Because we not have superpowers, so we can read other people's mind. So always be on the guard when it comes to your children. I have seen it where fathers have molested their daughters. I've seen it where mothers have molested their daughters, their son. Do not think for a moment that it cannot happen to your child. Do not think for a moment that when we leave them a grandmother, oh, this person, this uncle, we are coming at night time when him go smoking weed, or when him do this or when him do that, him coming late, him not go do it. You don't know who will do it to your child.
All right. All right, Raquel, I want to thank you so much for being here with us. I want to apologize to you as a man. I want to apologize to you for all your ordeal. And I want to say to you, keep this strong courage. And trust me, whenever I look at you, Raquel, I see a strong woman. I'm going to love you. You know, StreetVybz love you.
You know,
Yes.
man.
And I'm glad to be, you know, we have a little conversation. I'm getting on my feelings. I'm tell you how I feel. But I'm glad to be a part of what you are doing.
Yeah.
Okay?
No
All
problem.
right. You change your mind. Oh, wait. In last words.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, Raquel, we love you already, and glad to have you on the platform. Talk your story, not people's story, your own personal story. Share it, and I bet you're gonna have women that start looking at themselves right now, and maybe start paying more attention to their children, and be more aware of things. So we're happy that you share your story, and sorry I had to go through that, because back then I can tell you this. I mean, molestation used to they just cover it up within the family, and it just stay there. And
yeah.
we want to change the cycle
Yes.
in where we talk about it. You know what I mean? And we condemn it and say, listen, we're not gonna sit idle by and allow that to happen. I want to leave a world for my children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, where if something happened to them as a minor, and I'm not here, no longer here, an adult will speak up for them.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm going to continue to speak up for every child, regardless whether in the United States, Canada, England, Jamaica, wherever.
Wherever.
I see injustice for a child or for children, I'm going to speak up.
Yes.
I'm going to die speaking up for children. Because I know at the end of the day, I am going to be on the right side of history. So it might seem taboo right now, but later on, years from now, people will get the message. Because some people slow.
Yes.
They take a time to warm up and catch on to what's going on.
Raquel.
So that's my take on the entire story. I'm going to speak up for children.
Raquel, Chris Millie is saying to you, big up, big up yourself. And he has said before that his heart goes out to you. So keep strong. Much love and respect every time.
All right.
Love. Yes?
All right.
Yeah, man. Blessings. Yeah. Yeah, man. All right, people. Blessed love and respect. It's another show with StreetVybz and Friends with our co-host Owie. And basically, we are just, shedding a light awareness on child molestation and the impact that it can cause and that the victim has to live with. We had on here our guest Raquel, StreetVybz, and our co-host Owie. So much love and respect. Keep safe. Let's look after our children. It takes a community to raise a child. So let's look out for one another. Where we can help each other, we help each other. StreetVybz, I say, much love and respect. StreetVybz. Out!